It's confounder, Bibiji founders of the Bhupal Ki. Jai Mahavishnu Paramatma Parikachaya. Vasudhara Tadasisima, Srila Bhakti, Siddhanta Saraswati, Goswami Mahavishnu Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti, Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namaskar, Hari Rasa Thakur Ki Jai. Vaishkoshi Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna, Gopa Gopinath, Shyamakun Radhakun. Giri Govardhana ki,
Jai.
Mathura Vrindavan Dharma ki,
Jai.
Navadvip Maya Pradama ki,
Jai.
Jagannath Pradama ki,
Jai.
Iskar Radha Govinda Dham, Shamon Street, Brooklyn, New York, King.
Jai.
Jamuna Maya Ganga Maya Hudson Maya ki, Himachal Sudeva ki, Bhakti Deva ki, Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki, Mahamantra ki, Transcendental Book Distribution Key, Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Key, Transcendental Cow Protection Key, Jagannath Rathayatra, 32nd, number 32, New York Key, Jagannath Rathayatra Festival number 32, Mahamahotsav Key, Jagannath Rathayatra Mahamahotsav King, go Premanandi. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Jagannath Baladev Sri Bhadra Ki. Sri Bhadra Govinda Ki. So, thank you all for coming to the morning class on the Rathayatra day in New York, USA. Wonderful that I've been chosen here, or qualified as I am. So it's a very special day. And I was just trying to decide what to do, because it was sprung on me. I have to give the class. What am I going to do? What am I going to talk about? So I thought, well, Bhakti Anugraha, Janardana Maharaj, and Vishesha Prabhu, been giving a heavy class, heavy source, so about philosophy and everything. I was thinking, well, something a bit more, light-hearted for Rathayatra, something, interesting. I'm not saying philosophy is not interesting, but anyway, I chose this verse from Ādi-līlā. This chapter is called Ādi-līlā chapter 13. Can anyone understand my English? Can anyone understand my English? Hands up those who don't understand. Okay. This is Ādi-līlā, chapter 13, Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Ādi-līlā 13. This is called Ecstatic Dancing of the Lord at Rathayatra, and text 19. So this is very unusual. I never gave a class on this verse before, but I've been asked about it many times. So this will be the first and last time in my sojourn in this body before going to the hellish planets. Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jai Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrindam. Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jai Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhakta Vrindam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Loudly, come on. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Rathayatra Sajani Deki Loke Chamatkar Nava Hemamaya Ratha Sumere Akar. Hold on, let's switch it to. Use that mic, you said, okay. Okay. Rathayatra jam deki loke chamatkar. Nabahema maya ratha sumera akar. Rathayatra jani deki loke chamatkar. Nabahema maya ratha sumeru akara. Rathayatra jani deki loke chamatkara. Namahema maya ratha sumeru akara. Rathayatra jani deki loke chamatkara. Navahema maya ratha sumeru akara. Rathayatra jani deki loke chamatkara. Navahema maya ratha sumeru akara. Rathayatra jani deki loke chamatkara. Navahema maya ratha sumeru akara. Rathayatra jani deki loke chamatkara. Navahema maya ratha sumeru akara. Rathayatra jani deki loke chamatkara. Navahema maya ratha sumeru akara. Rathayatra jani deki loke chamatkara. Navahema maya ratha sumeru akara. Rathayatra of the car. Sajani decoration. Deki by seeing. Loke everyone. Chamatkar astonished. Nava new. Hemamaya golden. Ratha car. Sumeru akar as high as the mountain Sumeru. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Obey Chunaravinda Bhaktivedanta ISKCON founder Acharya. His Divine Grace. Obey Chunaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Everyone was astonished to see the decorations on the Ratha car. The car appeared to be newly made of gold, and it was as high as Mount Sumeru. Everyone repeat, please. Everyone was astonished. To see the decorations on the Ratha car. The car appeared to be newly made of gold. And it was high as Mount Sumeru. Please excuse me for choosing this verse. In the year 1973, there was a gorgeous Rathayatra festival in London, England, and the car was brought to Trafalgar Square. The London daily newspaper, The Guardian, published a front-page photo caption. ISKCON Rathayatra is rival to the Nelson Column in Trafalgar Square. Wow. The Nelson Column is a very impressive statue of Lord Nelson and can be seen from a good distance. Just as the residents of Puri compared the Rathayatra car to Mount Sumeru, the residents of London considered the car rival to the Nelson Monument. Srila Prabhupada Ki. There's a few more nice descriptions. Shata Shata Suchamara Dapane Ujvala Upare Pataka Shobhe Chandoya Nirmala. The decorations included bright mirrors. You can try that. A lot of bright mirrors. Bright mirrors and hundreds of chamaras, white whisks made of yak tails. On top of the car were a neat and clean canopy and a very beautiful flag. Text 21. Gagara kinkini baji gantara kvanita nana chitra pata vastre rata vibhushita. The car was also decorated with silken cloth and various pictures. Many brass bells, gongs, and ankle bells rang. Wow. Lilaya Chandila Ishwa Ratera Upar Aradui Rate Chode Subhadra Haladar. For the pastimes of the Rathayatra ceremony, Lord Jagannath got aboard one car, and his sister Subhadra and elder brother Balaram got aboard two other cars. So how many cars were there? Wow. Amazing. Text 23. Panchadasa Dina Ishra Mahalakshmi Layam Chandra Sange Krida Kaila Nibrite Vasya. For 15 days, the Lord had remained in a secluded place with the Supreme Goddess of Fortune and had performed his pastimes with her. Now we should hear this. The 15-day period of Anavasara is also called Nibrita, in honor of the solitary place where the Supreme Goddess of Fortune lives. After living there a fortnight, Lord Jagannath took permission from the Goddess of Fortune to leave. So this is we want something esoteric? Esoteric? Something, okay. Tanhara Samatilaya Bhakti Sukha Dite Rate Chadi Bahira Haila Vihara Karite. Having taken permission from the Goddess of Fortune, the Lord came out to ride on the Ratha car and perform his pastimes for the pleasure of the devotees. Please repeat. Having taken permission from the Goddess of Fortune, the Lord came out to ride on the Ratha car and perform his pastimes for the pleasure of the devotees. There's a nice prayer by Srila Prabhupada here. In this connection, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur comments that as an ideal husband, Lord Jagannath remained 15 days in a secluded place with his wife, the Supreme Goddess of Fortune. Nonetheless, the Lord wanted to come out of seclusion to give happiness to his devotees. The Lord enjoys himself in two ways, known as Svakya and Parakya. The Lord's conjugal love in Svakya Ras relates to the regulative principles observed in Dwarka, where the Lord has many married queens. But in Vrindavan, the conjugal love of the Lord is not with his married wives, but with his girlfriends, the gopis. Conjugal love with the gopis is called Parakya Ras. Lord Jagannath leaves the secluded place where he enjoys the company of the Supreme Goddess of Fortune in Svakya Ras, and he goes to Vrindavan, where he enjoys the Parakya Ras. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur therefore reminds us that the Lord's pleasure in Parakya Ras is superior to his pleasure in Svakya Ras. In the material world, Parakya Ras, or loving affairs with unmarried girlfriends, is the most degraded relationship. But in the spiritual world, this type of loving affair is considered the supreme enjoyment. In the material world, everything is but a reflection of the spiritual world. And that reflection is perverted, yes. We cannot understand the affairs of the spiritual world on the basis of our experience in the material world. The Lord's pastimes with the gopis are therefore misunderstood by mundane scholars and word wranglers. The Parakya Ras of the spiritual world should not be discussed except by one who is very advanced in pure devotional service. The Parakya Ras in the spiritual world and that in the material world are not comparable. The former is like gold and the latter is like iron, because the difference between the two is so great. They cannot actually be compared. However, just as a knowledgeable person can easily distinguish gold from iron, one who has the proper realization can easily distinguish the transcendental activities of the spiritual world from the material activities. Srila Prabhupada ki. So we're going back to the original verse now. And please excuse me. There's some autobiographical input I'm going to put in the class. Because I was, in my service, because the verse is, everyone was astonished to see the decorations on the Rath car. The car appeared to be newly made of gold, and it was high as Mount Sumeru. Prabhupada writes, in the year 1973, there was a gorgeous Rathayatra festival in London, England, and the car was brought to Trafalgar Square. The London daily newspaper, The Guardian, published a front-page photo caption, ISKCON Rathayatra is rival to the Nelson's column in Trafalgar Square. Yeah, so this takes me back. It takes me back a long, long way. Now this lump of stool is 79. So it takes me back to when I was 6. That's like, how many years? 73. I was lying in bed with my aunt, Auntie Ruth, in Birmingham, UK, with my aunt. And I was smelling her beautiful perfume. And you know what the perfume was called? I was age 6. Don't worry. Don't worry. I was age 6. And I was smelling a beautiful perfume. What was the perfume called? Pink lilac. And my aunt loved me very much because I liked her very much as a child. And her husband, Uncle Paul was the lecturer in economics at Aberystwyth University, UK. He wrote some books also. He's a real gentleman. He used to smoke a pipe. Smoked a pipe, you know. And we used to have a joking relationship. This is a fact, you know. I used to joke with him. He used to joke with me. And we used to get on like so well, just laughing. You see, and why am I saying this? I'll explain. So just remember, this is the background. He's a dignified gentleman, lecturer at university, head of economics, he's written many books. His wife was Auntie Ruth. She had nice powder, pink lilac. And when I was a child, we had so much fun together. So later on, you know what happened, blah, blah, blah. I won't go into details. You know, that's not the subject matter today. We're talking about Rathayatra. But eventually, after being kicked by Maya, and I've been trying to enjoy, what do you say, the perverted reflection of Parakiya Ras. I'm trying to enjoy it. The perverted reflection in the material world is boyfriend and girlfriend. I was trying to enjoy it, but it ended, oh no, what can I do? I'll chant Hare Krishna, an extreme medicine, but somehow or other I took it. So I joined the temple in London in 1971, and Shyamasundar Malati were there, and other devotees were there, Mukunda, Janaki, and I don't know what Guru Das was, and Yamuna was there for a short time, and they went to India. Prabhupada called them to India. You know the story, Prabhupada, the devotees first time in India, you know, the nectar devotion classes in Radha temple, we all know that. But then they came back for Rathayatra 73. Shyamasundar came back for Rathayatra 73. And there was no money. Paise nahi. No money in the temple. Wow. I was scratching that. How are we going to do this Rathayatra? I was just a new devotee. I was initiated the year before, Mahavishnu Das. Then I got this letter. Believe it or not, I got this letter. I thought, who's going to send a letter to me? My father must have got my address. And I opened it up, and guess what? Your uncle has bequeathed 11,000 pounds to you in his will. 11,000 nikah. We say in English, nikah. And that was worth, I calculated, something like multiplied by 10 or 11 now. That was 73 times 10, 11, over 100,000 pounds. Over $120,000, more than that. Wow. And you know what? You know what I did like a stupid fool? You know what I did? I went running to Shyamasundar. I should have known better. I could have been a rich man by now if I'd invested it. Oh no. Biggest mistake of my life. Biggest mistake of my life. I went to Shyamasundar. I showed him the letter. Oh, Mahavishnu. Would you like to be in charge of the Rathayatra festival? Yes, because he knew I'd been to art college, university, and studied arts and design, everything, MA, PhD, blah, blah, blah. And he thought, well, you know, he knows a bit about construction and this and that. So he said, yes, ma, you could do everything. So then I had to figure out how to get the money quickly. You know, that was just a, you know, an official letter from the, what do you call it? Not the accountant. From the person, the lawyer who deals with the money. Anyway, then I had to get the money in some bank account. And there I was, walking around with wads of money in my pocket. Malachi came up to me. Oh, Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu. We need new makuts for Jagannath this year. If you can send the money to India, give me the money, I'll send it to India, and the makuts can arrive for Rathayatra, because Prabhupada is coming! It was a panic, because Prabhupada was coming to London Rathayatra in 73. They had no money, and here I was, I had all the money. So Malachi came running up, please give me the money. And for 3 makuts, it's only, I think it was only 150 quid. 100 quid, we say pounds in England. 150 quid. Ah, sure. Then Mahavishnu rang me up from Ireland, my old friend. Hey, Mahavishnu, we need a traveling Sankirtan van. You know you're real friends when you've got money. And now I have no friends. I only have Bhakta Cassio as my real friend. Where's my Bhakta Cassio? So, oh yeah, sure. And he said, I'll come over and get the money. I said, no problem. Only, how much? He said, only 1,000 quid. No problem. Then there was this young devotee called Michael. I don't think he was ever initiated. He had a lot of good ideas. I like to listen to people with good ideas. So he said, yeah, we've got to have advertising for the festival. And we researched what the best advertising in London at that time was on the buses. So we had to print a poster, design a poster. I helped to design a poster on every bus in London. It was called Summer Festival, with a big picture of Rathayatra and Jagannath. Oh, something like that. There's only one copy of that magazine left, and Moksha Lakshmi, Parashuram's wife, she has that copy. Articles, we made a nice magazine, and we paid for that. We paid for the advertising. And then Michael, he said, you know what we should do? We should have a big canopy over Trafalgar Square. And then it won't be so, because it was hot those days. A big canopy. It's only 3,000 quid. Sure, that's a good idea. And then, of course, prasadam. And we had to, and a new Rath car. There's, what's his name? The devotee. Oh, I've forgotten his name now. He joined the, the anti-ISKCON website. He joined. Anyway, he built a beautiful Rath car, new wood. Because we only had an old Rath car which is taken from the broken down buildings from the Second World War. And then Michael said, we got to have a film. So yeah, I had to pay money for the film. So that was it. More or less everything went. For the Rathayatra festival. And then we had to have decorations for Rathayatra. So we got palm trees, banana trees, all these beautiful things under Nelson's column. It was amazing. It was amazing. So all the money was spent up. In fact, I probably spent too much. They're probably still chasing me. I was a brahmachari, I never thought anything was mine. I'm not a saint, but I thought I surrendered to Krishna, so everything belongs to Krishna. Give it to the temple for Jagannath Rathayatra. So that was just, I didn't think about it, which is obvious. And so I think I didn't even have a toothbrush. I had only one toothbrush left. So then the big day came. Srila Prabhupada! He came to Marble Arch. Prabhupada came to Marble Arch. And that was the Rathayatra car. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. On the Rathayatra car. And Shyamasundar put me in charge of the procession. What did I know? You know, I hardly knew, excuse my English, I hardly knew nothing. It's British slang. So there was, you know, Ansaduja, Revatanandan Swami, Shyamasundar, all the big guns surrounding. Actually, they made a Rathayatra cart. Sorry, they made a Vyasasana for Prabhupada to fit on the front of the Rathayatra cart. And when Prabhupada was offered it, he said, no, I want to dance. I want to work with devotees. So they had to carry that Vyasasana manually all the way to Trafalgar Square. That's about 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers. So some devotees were carrying it. And then the kirtan started. You can just imagine. Heavy kirtan. With these senior devotees. And it was me just like, you know, what was going on? And sometimes Prabhupada, he would stop. And he would look at Lord Jagannath. You know, just turn around and look at Lord Jagannath. Like stunned. And then the police, excuse me, are you in charge of this festival? The police came to me. Are you in charge of the festival? Yes, sir. When the old man stops and looks at the cart, the whole of London traffic stops. Can you do something? The policeman said, can you do something? Yes, I'll try. Because I couldn't do anything. It's out of control, you know. Prabhupada dancing and all the kirtan, and, you know, that was it, you know. We only had one cart in those days. So we went down Pall Mall, through Piccadilly, and Piccadilly is a famous place in London, like, it's supposed to be equivalent to Times Square, but, you know, it's nothing compared with Times Square. You know. It's a small place, small buildings, small Coca-Cola ad, and Eros is the deity of Eros. It's very interesting. There's a little deity of Eros. And he's like Krishna, baby Krishna. If you give him a flute, you look like baby Krishna. And so then the Rathayatra car came through there, and then down Haymarket into Trafalgar Square with Prabhupada walking and dancing. It was amazing, you know. And it came down into Trafalgar Square. What did Prabhupada see? This big yellow canopy over most of the Trafalgar Square. Not Nelson's Column, but it was beautiful. And the palm trees, everything. In the adjective of Prabhupada, it was gorgeous. Prabhupada said it was a gorgeous festival in Trafalgar Square, London. Yeah. Here we have Washington Square. In London we have Trafalgar Square. Washington Square Park, right? There's also a gorgeous park, many trees, many young people are there. It's a tourist place. Everyone's, you know, rolling up there. We went down there with Harinam, you know. Yeah, generally on the Harinam route, I kept trying to get people to, you know, to join in the kirtan, get them to say Hare Krishna. Can you say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna? So I get them to, but they're rolling a joint, you know. So I can't get them to dance. Joint means, you don't know what joint means. It means, you know, marijuana, weed, you know. And everyone's there smoking there. But some people, you know, we danced and sang yesterday. It's a beautiful place, Washington Square Park. And it's going to be even more beautiful today. The beautiful archway and the fountains. So it's going to be amazing today. So similarly, Trafalgar Square was really amazing. And we had tents. And Partha, my godbrother, he cooked an amazing feast. Wow, an amazing feast. And somebody was shooting the film, and Prabhupada sat on a little green Vyasasan. I think it was the one he brought. And we made a big mistake. Actually, we made several mistakes. When we put the tent, there was metal pinions for the tent. Actually, we spoke to the police before. We went to the chief of the police. We gave him prasadam, right? Said, oh, well, we want a little tent, you know. Have a little tent in Trafalgar Square. Oh, sure, no problem, have a little tent. But this was like a big thing, bigger than this room, you know. Huge. And they had the big metal, and he cracked some of the stones in Trafalgar Square. Those stones like 5,000 years old. No, maybe 400 or 500 years old. And so then we got into trouble with that. I won't tell you what the trouble was. But anyway, and then of course, it wasn't exactly a little tent, you know, it was a huge canopy. So the police felt cheated. Sometimes you have to do a little trick, you know. And, you know, Prabhupada did a lot of tricks, you know, for us to get us to be Hare Krishnas. So anyhow, he said, just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And look at us now, we're miserable. 4 regular principles, what a drag, you know. So he cheated us. Actually, the first initiation, you know what Prabhupada did? It's a big cheat. The first initiation, nobody even knew about the 4 regular principles. After the initiation, he stuck a paper on the wall. He said, all initiated disciples must follow the 4 regular principles. Srila Prabhupada, Ki Jai. So anyway, it was an amazing festival, a lovely festival. So it's lots of, especially Indian community came, and the devotees were so happy, and you know. So next day in Prabhupada's room in Sevenbury Place. Actually, I have some confidential input here. I never dared go in Prabhupada's room. I don't know why, I just felt so shy. I thought he would see what a stupid git I am. So I never went in Prabhupada's room when he was there. So they opened the Guardian newspaper and they showed it to Prabhupada. Look, Prabhupada, look what it says in the Guardian newspaper is, how do you say, one of the top newspapers. It's considered like liberal newspaper, but it's very popular, high-class newspaper. There is a photograph, a big picture of the Trafalgar Square, Rathayatra cart, big picture of the Rathayatra cart in the foreground. And it was taken in such a way that Nelson's column was lower in the distance. Nelson was lower in the distance. And Prabhupada was, this is English expression, tickled pink. Prabhupada was tickled pink. Wow. ISKCON Rathayatra is rival to Nelson's column. And you know, when he came to America, there was a big meeting of the GBC. And he was angry. No, actually, I shouldn't say that. But anyway. Because the police were trying to stop us having another Rathayatra cart. This was a year later. And Prabhupada said, is this a... But anyway, whenever he traveled, Prabhupada said, we have defeated Lord Nelson! Please, louder than that. We have, Prabhupada said, we have defeated Lord Nelson. Louder than that. We have defeated Lord Nelson. Yeah. It was Lord Nelson actually that defeated the Spanish Armada. You know that? He only had one arm. He was a very brave man. And he had one eye. He was a very brave man. He wasn't a wimp. He wasn't a wimp. And he was told, listen, you've got to do this or the Spanish Armada is going to wipe us out. So then, what he did, he put his telescope to his blind eye. He said, I don't see anything. And then the British wiped them out, defeated the Spanish Armada. Yeah. And that was a long time ago, and then, of course, then the British founded America. Actually, the Irish had a potato famine. Do you want to hear a joke? You want to hear a joke about the British Empire? Prabhupada was in Nairobi in the Freedom Park. And he said, why the British spread their empire all over the world? Well, Prabhupada, we had to civilize the barbarians with Christianity. So many things. Prabhupada said, no. Prabhupada said, they spread their empire all over the world because they only had potatoes at home. They only had potatoes at home. So this is Prabhupada's joke. So anyhow, then, so then Shamasundar spoke to Prabhupada. He said, Prabhupada, one of our devotees, Mahavishnu, spent all his aunt's money on the Rathayatra festival. He said, aunt. Actually, it was the uncle, but then Prabhupada said, he spent his aunt's money well. All because of that pink lilac talcum powder. You remember? I was saying, lying in bed with my aunt. Oh, auntie, you've got such nice smell. Such nice, oh dear, do I have a nice smell? Then I got 11,000 quid from that. And we pleased Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada King. And then I heard a rumor that somebody, I won't mention his name, he was American, GBC, said, he should have invested his money. Should have invested in something else. But I thought, no. Yasya prasada, bhagavat prasada, yasya prasada, nagati katopi, dayam stuvam stasya, yasya sri sanjam, vande gurosi, charanaravinda. So only by pleasing the spiritual master we can please Krishna. Otherwise there's no hope. You can't do it any other way. Because the spiritual master representative of Krishna. So this is the secret of success, I think. So any questions, please? Let's finish there. We've got to be ready for 9 o'clock, prasadam. We've got about 10 minutes for questions. Yeah?
I was wondering about your auntie. Like, was it your uncle who passed away and gave you inheritance?
I can't hear, please. Louder.
Someone turn up the mic. Maybe. Okay. What happened to your auntie?
What is? What?
He asked what happened to your auntie? What happened to your aunt?
My Auntie Ruth and Uncle. No, but I'm 79, you know. Where do you think they are?
They should become
But now,
the-
during the Rathayatra card, who knows, they may be welcome. If I get back anywhere, they may be welcoming me. Jagannath's mercy on them. They gave so much money. $140,000 spent on Rathayatra. Where do you think they are now?
So I'm asking.
Maybe back to Godhead, you know. Jagannath's mercy. Next question, please. Everyone's dead in my family. Except my brother. I don't know about my brother. But I tell you a story about my brother. My brother was top scientist in Canada. He was chief scientist of Canada. He wrote theses in everything. He did oceanography, geophysics, everything. So he visited Soho Street, Govinda's in London, very place. So, you know, it's a hard nut to crack. As far as his spiritual life, he's Zen, you know, Buddhist. Believes just absurd, everything's more or less absurd. Anyway, so I said, do you want to come and see the temple upstairs? I said, all right. And he came upstairs. The temple's upstairs. I said, take your shoes off. Okay. Took his shoes off. And he came in the temple. And there in London, you have Radha Landanishwar. You have Jagannath Baladev Subhadra on the left. And in the middle, you have small Gonitai. So he stood there. It's like he was going to an art gallery. You know art gallery? You ever been to art gallery? Look at the picture. Yeah, I like this one. So he's looking at Radha and Krishna. He didn't like it much. He looked at Jagannath, Baladev Subhadra. I like these ones. I like this one. So people like Lord Jagannath. Jagannath's big smiling face. Actually, I'm preaching in Congo, you know. And in Democratic Republic of Congo, there are 250 deities. They're like district deities, village deities. And they're all frightening wooden deities. You look at them, you run a mile, you know. And we're planning to have a Rathayatra now in Congo in a couple of weeks. The first Rathayatra in Kinshasa. And this smiling face of Lord Jagannath is going to be stunning to people. And because Jagannath is smiling. Krishna smiles over us as this material nature. He's giving us a chance to go back to Godhead. Because we're getting kicked by Maya. So it's actually Krishna's smile on us. So Jagannath means Lord of the universe. Lord of the universe. People have forgotten it. They don't know there's a Lord. Jagannath. Universe, Nath means Lord. So nobody knows anymore. They think Big Bang, steady state, primordial soup, Darwin's theory. And here we go, Fifth Avenue. Lord of the universe. Jagannath Swami King. Srila Prabhupada King. Okay. 7 more minutes for questions. Is that right? Yes, 7 more minutes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Maharaj,
Yeah?
I heard you're sponsoring the whole Rathayatra in Congo too.
You're what?
You're sponsoring the whole thing. His Holiness Mahavishnu Swami Ki.
I'm funding it. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, there's other people, other devotees are funding also. I'm giving something, I have to pay my ticket. doing my best. If anybody wants to donate, for the first Congo in Democratic Republic of Congo, I'm ready to receive donations. I have a bank account. But who knows whether it'll come off, because they just changed the government. I got some good news. We got permission from the council. But there's a lot of strange things going on there. They have a Hindu mandal in Kinshasa, Hindu mandal. And the Arisen devotees, they don't want their Jagannath deities to go out. You know, the Hindu temple, they have everything there, from Sai Baba to Lord Shiva to Durga, everything like a supermarket, you know. Hindu temples are like supermarkets. You choose the one you like, you know. You have Radha Krishna too and Jagannath too. But the Arisen devotees, Aryan devotees, they say we can't have their Jagannaths on our Rath car. It'll be flatback truck. It'll be a small flatback truck like in San Francisco. The first Rathayatra car in London, sorry, in New York, USA, was on a flatback truck. You all know that story. And but we're getting a small flatback truck, but we don't have Jagannath Rathayatra. So we don't have Jagannaths. But the Aryan devotees said, we'll bring Jagannath because the government won't allow the Indians to do their festival. They're prejudiced. So now we have enough Africans. They want to do the festival. So the Aryan devotees said, we'll bring Jagannath from India and then you can have your festival. And it'll be at the same time as the Rathayatra week in 15 days in Puri. So there's many imponderables. It may not happen. Let's see what happens. We don't know. So doing our best. 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Last question. Mataji's, ladies, please. One question, please. It was you who made the first Rathayatra festival, because you're representatives of my auntie. You see? The motherly touch. You made my uncle give his hard-earned money. Any plans for?
Florida. Visit Florida, Maharaj.
Visit Florida?
Do you have any plans?
No, Vishnu Jan, we have. Guess where we're going next? Iceland. We're going to Iceland for the first time. We're going down a tunnel in the glacier. We're going to swim in the hot springs. We're going to look down a volcano. So it's a far cry from Miami. Yeah. And then we go to Ireland, from Iceland to Ireland, Dublin. Dublin were the people that first came to America. There was a potato famine. There was a famine of potatoes. So everyone had to come to America. They got no potatoes. Okay, 1.5 minutes. For the final, yes?
I'd like to know if anybody can go to that Congo Rathayatra.
You want to come to Congo?
In 2 weeks, is it?
Whoa.
No, thank you.
A white Mataji in Congo. Whoa. It's risky. You better bring a bodyguard. Bring a black bodyguard. Maybe you should marry a black man and then come to Congo. Do you speak French? Do you speak French? Because I don't, but they speak French. But please come, please come. It'll be sensation. It'll be all the newspapers all over Congo, all over the Western world, if you come. You'll be famous. I can't see what color you are now, but maybe you are black, I don't know. My eyes are so bad. Sri Jagannath Rathayatra ki, Mahamantra ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Go Premanande! Bande, oh, we have to go down straight for prasadam, no Bande Krishna. Mahaprasade Govinde, Nama Brahmani Vaishnava.